All right, this is your boy Droid,
And I'm Ace.
and this is Movies for the People.
And this week, we're covering
Creed 2.
one of my favorite movie franchises. Probably the best movie franchise ever.
I'm not going to debate that. I feel like the debates can be made, but I'm not going to debate that. Because I can't, right now, I can't just, pull one out.
Yeah.
Different strokes for different folks. So, some people might not like them. Some people might like other shit. Who knows?
Yeah. So, we're going to be doing a little bit shorter for our spoiler reviews.
Yep.
Maybe a lot bit shorter.
Yep.
We're doing them more in a micro form, so that way you can get the information you need in a quicker amount of time.
Yep.
So you can go see the movie before you go see the movie.
Right. Get your information, go see the movie, then you come back here and listen to the rest of our podcast, and you enjoy your week.
Yep.
Exactly. So let's get it going. Creed 2 is the long-awaited sequel of the 7th installment in the blockbuster continuation of the Rocky franchise. That's a lot of words to say this shit was dope.
It was dope.
It starred Michael B. Jordan as Adonis Creed, son of the former world heavyweight champion Apollo Creed.
Why former?
Because his daddy dead.
Oh no.
They killed him.
Who killed him?
Some big Russian nigga.
Yep, he was killed by Ivan Drago, a juicing badass from the 80s. And yeah, he killed him. And now they're challenging Apollo Creed's son, Adonis.
The man who killed his daddy is challenging the son.
Yep. First of all, I really didn't know what to expect. I feel like they withheld a lot from the trailers, and I think it was a very interesting take on the story.
I feel like you didn't catch what I said 10 seconds ago.
I didn't. I didn't.
I literally said that the son is Ivan, right?
The son is Victor.
Oh yeah, I literally said that Ivan Drago was challenging Adonis. And you were like, "Yep."
Listen, their names are too similar. I get them confused.
Ivan and Victor.
Yep.
All they share in common is a V.
Exactly.
Wow. Disappointment.
But
they both have eyes too, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Shut
nigga. I recommend going and seeing this. You know, if you're a fan of this podcast, I love the Rocky movies.
I enjoyed it. I think it was good. I think you should see it in theaters.
Definitely
because it's a
theaters.
boxing movie. There is an audience in the movie, and if you see it with a lot of people, that just adds to the excitement.
It really does.
There's a lot of energy.
The noises of when they're hitting each other,
Boy.
It doesn't sound any better than in the theater.
There are multiple times we're sitting there and somebody just get fucking decked. It's because of being
There'd be times it'd happen and but they didn't cut the scene yet, and it scared the shit out of me.
You felt that shit.
Yeah.
If you had D-box, it would hurt.
But I highly recommend going and seeing it.
Me too.
And that's the end of our
Spoiler-free
review.
All right, so this week, my trailer, probably no surprise to anyone who knows this trailer came out and has listened to me talk about The Lion King before. It's The Lion King, which I'm hyped for.
Who isn't? Who's playing Simba?
Dumb people are not excited for it.
That is true.
We got the return of the man, the myth, the legend. Don't know if he was actually a Sith Lord, but he was the only real dark side nigga we cared about in Star Wars. Your boy, James Earl Jones. I don't care who played him physically. The voice is what mattered.
Yeah. Forget that lame ass nigga who played him. Who was in the suit.
I didn't say he was lame.
I did.
I just said he ain't James
What'd he do?
Earl.
What'd he do? That was dope.
He disappeared. He threw the Emperor down some energy fucking turbine shit.
Fuck that guy.
He's probably, I wonder if he's alive. I don't know.
I don't know. I know I met a guy that plays Darth Vader in the suit in episode 3.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
When I was a kid. He signed a card for me. I think I still have it. Who is it that's playing Mufasa?
Jason Weaver. Oh, who's playing Mufasa?
Yeah.
James Earl Jones.
And then who's playing
Simba. Jason Weaver. Who, like, you probably... I'm going to show you a picture and you're going to know exactly who it is.
I don't care about that Simba. I'm talking about the real Simba from the movie.
DG? The DG man?
The Digiman? Digiman?
Oh.
Ty's playing Simba?
Yeah. You don't fuck with Ty?
I do fuck with Ty.
Yeah, Agumon's gonna be out there. Everything the light touches is their kingdom. So, like, the
Digidestin.
digital world, free reign.
Yeah.
There's a sun there. The light touches it. I just gotta stay away from... What was that? What was the fucking demon Digimon's name? I don't even know.
I don't remember.
Donald Glover, to answer your question.
Donald Glover.
Also, the man, soon to be a myth, one day a legend.
He's already a legend.
Okay.
We'll give that to him. I don't agree
In
with
Oakland?
that with a lot of people. In Oakland.
Okay. You know,
On Telegraph Ave. He's a legend.
Okay. That makes sense.
And in Atlanta. And on SNL. And on the charts, nigga.
Who else is in it? Beyonce's in it.
Who's she playing?
Is she playing Nala?
No.
Is she playing Sarabi?
Yeah.
Okay. That makes much more sense. Who's playing Nala?
Actually, she might be playing Nala.
I could see her playing Nala, but like...
I just don't think those voices will mix. She is playing Nala.
Okay, cool.
Oh, the chick from Luke Cage.
Oh.
The sister. Her name is Alfre Woodard. I'm excited. It's going to be a weird voice matchup. Like, I don't think Donald Glover and Beyonce's voices match up very well. But you know what this might mean?
What?
We might get a collab album with Beyonce and Donald Glover.
Maybe? I don't know.
At least the soundtrack to the movie. Actually, they don't sing together, huh?
Like, Can You Feel the Love Tonight?
They don't really sing that, do they?
Not really.
There's probably going to be some new songs.
Probably.
What if they came out like, you remember the Black Panther album for Black Panther?
That wasn't actually like in the soundtrack that we were super unhappy about?
It was kind of in the soundtrack. Like, there's a few songs. But I really wanted just some like hard shit in there. some of those real songs that were on there.
It was in every part that like they were like, hey, we can cut this before somebody says nigga.
Pretty much. But if they dropped an album like that for Lion King, that shit would be over. Hey, you remember last week how you said we always use the same mics?
Yeah.
We're not doing that right now. Can we switch?
Why? Why does it matter now?
It just feels weird.
Fine. It's warm. I don't like that.
Yours is warm too.
I don't care. It's warm, and I don't like that it's warm because another nigga had his hands on my mic.
Well,
I feel violated.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to violate you right here and for all the people to hear.
Oh, just gross. For everybody, anybody who's wondering, we're not in my room this week. We're in Ace's room because he didn't want to walk through the ice on the sidewalks.
No. First of all, I don't want to go to his house because I got to park like a whole fucking 100 yards away from the door, and then I got to walk down a long ass road just to get in because there's no parking in the complex.
It's not my fault.
And then I got to haul all this
It
stuff
ain't
up
my
to
fault.
his room, and then I got to bring it back down.
It ain't my fault.
It is. You chose to live there.
I didn't do that.
Oh, man. But yeah, trailer talk.
Yeah, what's your trailer this week?
Is that all we're saying about?
Bro, we're hyped about the Lion King.
They
There's
didn't
gonna
really
be
give
great
us
people
much.
in it. Yeah, I mean, you see like the Pride Rock thing,
Yeah.
the Circle of Life.
Nobody in there
It's
is
not
a
even the
bad
whole
actor.
Pride Rock scene, so.
But
Circle of Life. I used to know what they said.
My trailer
It's not in English, but
is the Lego Movie 2.
the second part?
Yeah. I know you haven't seen the first Lego Movie.
I haven't. I heard it's on Netflix.
The first Lego Movie was a hit. No one was expecting it to be as funny as it was. Chris Pratt killed it. Everybody in the movie killed it. They got the same cast back. They're going to kill it again. They got jokes about Chris Pratt, actually. Like, about Chris Pratt.
Interesting.
Like, there's a scene in the trailer where they're like, I'm a raptor trainer, a cowboy, and something like that. And it was funny. Yeah. They got to go find this shape-shifting monster. She turns into an octopus and is real sexual, voiced by Tiffany Haddish.
You know,
I'm pretty sure it was Tiffany Haddish. I didn't look it up to back that up, but I'm pretty sure that was her voice.
I feel like it was only a matter of time
Before what?
till niggas started getting sexual with Tiffany Haddish in Hollywood. There was that weird scene from...
I mean, she's already pretty sexual.
Nah.
Girls Trip was her big break, and she was
I haven't seen Girls Trip.
I watched it with one of my friends who was a girl. We had a girls' night, and we watched it, and we were just calling each other bitch the whole time.
Was it Judy?
I heard she got mad at you for that.
She did. I don't know if she was mad, but I for those who don't know, we have a friend whose name you don't get to know, but her name for the purposes of this podcast is Judy. Judy with the big booty. Big booty Judy. And
right.
she didn't appreciate me. She texted me. It was like, Judy, really? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, Judy with a booty? And I was like, no, Judy with the booty. And I said THA. The. And she's like, oh my God. And I was like, well, you know, have you heard Big Booty Judy? She's like, yes, I have. And I was actually surprised by that. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, that's pretty surprising.
And that's what's going on with that.
The Lego Movie.
Yep.
Out in theaters in 2019.
Just like The Lion King.
Go see it.
Which one do you think is gonna do better?
The Lion King.
I haven't seen a Lego movie, but I listened to one of my coworkers rant. It wasn't really a rant. It was a discussion, but he's literally just telling me about how great the Lego movie was in comparison to like anything else out right now.
Let me tell you something. The Lego Movie is very good.
Yeah.
It's not great.
Okay.
Very funny. It shaped the whole like Lego. Have you seen any of the other Lego Lego movies? Not like the Ninjago series and all that stuff back in the day.
Oh, okay. No.
But like the new Ninjago.
Not like no, that Ninjago is a continuation. They never rebooted it.
No.
It is.
It's completely different.
No, it's continuation.
Let me tell you something. No, it's not.
It really
Compared to
is.
the TV show to this,
It's literally a continuation of the TV show.
let me tell you something. This Ninjago movie that they came out with is like Thor Ragnarok, if it is a continuation. It is like Thor Ragnarok is to the other Thors.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's still a continuation. But you didn't watch. You need to go back. And Ninjago started to pick up after a while. When my boy Lloyd got older, because he had to.
I don't remember it.
He
It
was-
used to just be on when I'd get ready for school in the morning.
Yeah, there was a point in which like they were like, "Oh, he's the Green Ninja. We need him." And they were like, "Well, I guess he doesn't get a childhood. Let's put him in this pod and make him age 6 years." That's literally what happens. Yeah, it's lit. But continuation. Also, I don't know where we were going. I'm sorry.
Go see the Lego Movie.
Oh, we
what
were
I was
going
about
to
to
see
say.
the Lego Movie.
What I was gonna say is Disney's about to fuck the world up. Like in a 3-month span.
Disney's
3 or
been
4
fucking the world.
No. They've put out like a couple movies a year, maybe a couple in the beginning, one in the later end.
Oh, we're talking about just the box office. Okay.
No. I'm talking about they're going to come out with, it's like Dumbo, Captain Marvel, Infinity War, Toy Story 4, Lion King, Avengers, and I think there's one more I'm forgetting. in like 4 or 5 months.
Pick the world up and drop it on his fucking head.
Yeah. It's crazy. I'm looking forward to that time, and you guys should too, because there's going to be some quality entertainment coming out of us.
It better be, or like somebody would fight Disney. What if literally all of those movies are trash? Every single one.
I'd kill myself.
Don't do that. I'm not doing a podcast by myself. Also, I don't want you to be dead, but I'm not doing a podcast by myself.
Here. If all those movies are trash,
I'm not shaking your head. Take your head back.
All right. Is that it for trailer talk?
That's our trailer talk.
I think that's it. It looks like it's time for us to go into bin banter. But before we get into bin banter, there's something we'd like to tell you. Follow us on Twitter at ___ for the people, and at Instagram at ___ for the people.
And you can follow your board Droid at _Droid Waller on anything.
And you can follow me Ace at _Ace on Instagram and Twitter.
I really still wish you were Ace Goes Coast to Coast.
I really should make it that. Yes. I should make everything like my gamer tag.
I'm thinking about changing my fucking gamer tag to my social media.
I kind of want to. Like I loved my gamer tag for a while.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know what it is, but it's Ratchet No Clank.
I know.
And it was a good childhood gamer tag. I got a lot of comments. People would always call me Ratchet in game. It was fun times. And whenever I can't make it so base days because no one can read that. Everyone's always like, somebody says.
Mine is Royal Aegis with a number behind it. I'm not gonna tell you what the number is. Nobody ever says Aegis right. It's annoying.
Aegis?
Yes, that's what happens. But people just call me Royal.
Royale.
That has special meaning that we're not going to get into.
Yeah, because you guys don't get to know yet. But maybe one day,
maybe when I change
it,
maybe when I change it, I'll tell you. It's sappy and kind of stupid, but I kept it. I was like, fuck everything and everybody.
And
do what I want.
He does what he wants.
I'm grown.
He's a fucking droid.
I'm grown.
He's grown. He's a big man.
Yeah.
All right, big fella. What are we going to do next?
We're going to do bin banter.
Bin banter?
Bin banter.
Bin
banter.
banter. Bin banter?
Yes.
What did we say
Absolutely.
for bin banter?
X-Men Days of Future Past.
X-Men Days of Future Past?
Nobody do that.
Something in there?
If you're a time traveler, you can probably understand what I'm saying.
I can't. I don't travel time.
But your cousin does.
Who?
The one who says time travel doesn't work that way. I don't know this cousin. I just want you to know that, like, if I ever meet you and you tell me while we're watching a movie that time travel doesn't work that way, I will promptly proceed to tell you that until you can take me on a trip through time, I don't give a fuck what you have to say about the matter. Thank you.
Yeah, you heard it here first.
We saw X-Men Days of Future Past.
Did we? I don't like this position at all.
Yeah, I don't know why you did that.
I was trying to get comfortable. I had like my foot up on my dresser. It didn't work, people.
Yeah, it was a little strange for me.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I appreciate your
I invite
apology.
you into my room to record this podcast, and then I make you feel uncomfortable. How about this? I'll leave. You do the podcast.
Do I get your posters? They're not really posters. What are they?
They're like wood. They're wood.
They're wood?
They're wood.
I don't want your wood. That's gross.
But I got an Amazing Spider-Man one I got from my brother, and then I got a Star Wars one that I got from a thrift store.
Nice.
Just to let the people know what my room looks like.
You out there popping tags.
Popping tags.
$20 in your wallet. I see you.
More like 32.
Ooh, boy.
Actually, more like
big
12,
bucks.
$12 free.
Oh, man. Yeah, so we saw X-Men Days of Future Past. which honestly I haven't seen since it came out in theaters. I actually saw it with our number one fan, our boy Jeff,
Shout out to Jeff.
who incorrectly guessed what movie we were watching. I told him it was something we saw in theaters, and he picked Godzilla.
Yeah, he named both Godzilla and Days of Future Past, and then Droid was like, which one? And he was like, Godzilla. No.
Absolutely,
Jeff.
not. That's fine, because if he had gotten it right, we were going to change the name of the show to The Jeff Show.
Yeah.
And we didn't want to do that.
Yeah. I mean, it might have been fun. Everybody likes a nice Jeff.
Maybe we just change it for like... Oh, no, never mind.
What movie was it? Oh, Get Him to the Greek. Everyone likes a Jeff.
I have not seen that one. I wanted to.
It was pretty funny. They do a drug and they call it the Jeff, and they're like, "Why is it called Jeff?"
My God.
They're like, "Because nobody hates Jeff.
Interesting.
Everyone likes Jeff."
There's so many movies I have to catch up on. Shit that I didn't get to see when I was in school because I was broke as fuck.
Well, now you're gonna get to, because we got a podcast about it, nigga.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe like you guys will watch us enough that we can monetize stuff and then buy more movies, and then I can watch them. Because I don't want to hear anybody talking about, oh, you haven't seen that movie? No. You gonna pay for me to see that movie? No.
Maybe
But if
we
you
can
are,
watch all the movies.
that'd be-
Every one.
That would be difficult.
Not if it's our job.
I think we would die
I don't think so.
if we saw every movie there is.
Just work it into your daily routine.
Oh, by the way, shout out to my dad who informed me that we should talk about Sorry to Bother You, even though we talked about it 2 weeks ago. Thanks, Dad. Love you. You should listen more often.
If you haven't checked out that episode, go check it out, and you can hear what we think about Sorry to Bother You.
Yeah. Back to X-Men Futures. Oh, my God. I can't talk.
X-Men Days of Future Past.
Thank you.
What'd you think of this?
I enjoyed it, honestly, more than I did the first time I saw it.
I didn't enjoy it as much just because I wasn't really like hyped about watching it.
Right. I can understand that.
But I've also seen it probably 8 times.
I mean, I've always liked the X-Men movies. I even liked X3 to some extent.
The first half was good.
Yeah, like I mean the biggest problem with X3 was like it was getting to a point where it was way out of hand for people who didn't follow comics outside of these movies. But I was thinking about this while we were watching Days of Future Past. I was thinking about this when we were watching Days of Future Past, because I've talked about like power scaling before in superhero movies, and they do a really good job of it in the X-Men movies for the most part.
Yeah.
I hate seeing the first scene of that movie because everybody dies in like ways they shouldn't have. Like Magneto gets to be way fucking stronger than like anybody else in the movies, but it's much closer to like his comic book counterpart, where like Iceman is getting killed by Sentinels, and in the comic books this nigga froze over fucking hell. Well, you got somebody who can freeze over hell, you don't just lose the Sentinels. I don't care what kind of fucking Sentinels they are.
Yeah, you do.
No.
When you're Iceman.
No.
I've always hated Iceman.
Why?
From the movies.
No.
I don't like that actor.
Really?
That's the main reason I didn't play that game he was in.
Really?
Yeah, I don't.
He's in a couple of the games.
He was in well, not like X-Men games.
Oh.
Like
Quantum Break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like him. I didn't like him when he was on Disney Channel.
He was on Disney Channel?
Yeah, back in the day. We'll never forget Icy Boy.
I mean, I already forgot. Now I gotta go like find out.
Yeah. Well, you better go look it up so then we can say we'll never forget Icy Boy.
I mean, I don't dislike him.
Hey,
I think he's like super typecast.
listen, I'm drawing a line. Either you're Icy Boy or you could be a hot boy over here.
First off, okay, if there's anybody I'd fuck with in the X-Men movies, it's Wolverine, Professor X, and Shadowcat. Ellen Page, Kitty Pryde, out here doing it. Those are my favorite 3 characters in these movies. I like Iceman as a character, and he should have done up all them fucking Sentinels. But if we're drawing lines over those three. And here's the problem. I know what side of the line you're going to be on when it comes to Professor X and Logan. Kitty Pryde, if you have issues, then we can fight about it.
I like her.
Okay.
I like all of them except Iceman.
Okay, I was going to like take your head and just slam it into the wall like when Juggernaut was chasing her.
You're getting dumb aggressive over here.
I don't know what you're talking
All
about.
I told you was just, you could be an icy boy or a hot boy. And you chose up. You're a hot boy, right?
I don't like Pyro like that.
Damn, bro. You an icy
Iceman
boy.
would win.
He probably would.
He definitely
It
would.
don't matter who would win. We're talking about personality. And I'm not choosing Pyro. I'm just saying. Icy boy is trash.
You say that. Fine. I don't appreciate that these motherfuckers had blink and got killed multiple times, because y'all should have been way fucking wherever away from these Sentinels. It just, hell, comic book Kitty Pryde would have took them all the way across the fucking globe and fuck the Sentinels. Grab everybody. We gonna fall through the floor until we come out in China.
Yeah. They all
But-
kind of trash, bro.
Except Magneto. Literally, except Magneto and Professor X, everybody's powers in this series have been like, and Quicksilver. Quicksilver is fucking savage.
Quicksilver is so fucking dope. That scene with Quicksilver, I always enjoy it.
I liked it, but I was disappointed because I forgot that the X-Mansion blowing up is in the third movie.
Yeah,
And
that one is really good.
I was so hyped to watch that scene again, and then I was like, oh, it's not in this one.
That's the only good scene of Apocalypse.
I'm just like sitting there, it's like, sweet dreams are made of these. I was ready. And then it was like, oh, this.
Do you think we'll get a third one in Dark Phoenix?
That would be nice.
Where he grabs everyone on Earth from an exploding planet
Where the fuck is he going to go?
to the moon.
But he would die.
He's going to drag them to NASA and they're going to get on a ship. But he's got to get everyone on Earth in 3 seconds.
No, he's not going to do that.
Well, why not?
Because, no.
So, speaking of Quicksilver,
Yeah.
because he's one of the few characters that is in X-Men
Yep.
and Marvel.
Well, correction, was.
He was one of the few characters.
Was one of the few characters. Yeah. What about him?
Which one do you think they'll keep?
Which one do I think they'll keep?
Yeah.
The new one. I mean, unless the whole like Infinity War deal, unless people are like brought back from the past, then I think they would keep the new one.
Okay. I'm really curious to see how they're going to bring all these people in, or if everyone's out the job and they're just going to recast everyone except James McAvoy.
I mean, I like this Quicksilver much more than the other one.
I do too.
He's got a lot more personality. And wasn't the other what? Oh, it was dude from Kick-Ass.
Yeah, and he died.
Yeah.
But I think everybody's about to come back from what it sounds like in Avengers 4.
We'll see how that works out. Just take away the gravity of what happened in the third one.
It's comic books.
Yeah, but well, see, this is my thing. Like, especially with X-Men, I thought about this too. X-Men has done things well enough to where, like, the things that, like, for instance, X3 definitely happened.
Mm-hmm.
They went back and changed it, but it wasn't necessarily a retcon because, like, it's part of the story. This is an alternate timeline at this point. If they were to just, like, bring everybody back, they would have to do it very well, I feel.
Well, I mean, that's what they do.
I hope so.
When they do things, they do them well.
They better. Like we said.
They brought back Thor from a dying career.
I was confused as to where you were going. I mean, I guess they brought back Hulk, too.
Yeah. They'll bring everyone back. except for Chris Evans.
Is James McAvoy still going to be playing Professor X?
I don't know. He's going to be Professor X in this new one.
Okay.
In Dark Phoenix.
Yeah, okay, because this is the first time
bald.
we've seen him bald.
Yeah.
That's what okay.
Except for in Split.
Yeah. That's not James McAvoy, though.
That is James McAvoy.
Oh, that's the Beast.
Oh, I'm excited for Glass. When does that come out this month?
This month? No.
Like December?
I think so. You know what's funny to me? My mom calls me and she's like, you know a movie you guys should talk about on the podcast? And I'm just like, what? She's like, the one with Samuel Jackson and Bruce Willis. And I'm just like, Glass? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, okay. And I'm sitting here knowing that, like, this is not the type of movie she's going to watch. She's never seen Split, and she will not see Split. I already know that.
Has she seen Unbreakable?
She may have seen Unbreakable. I'm not sure. But, like, during this conversation, I'm pretty sure she was like, I'm probably not going to watch it, but you guys should talk about it. And I was just like, thanks for, like, the suggestion. We want things that you're going to listen to, but hey.
I'm surprised. Are you pretty hyped about Split?
Glass?
Glass, yeah.
Yeah. I really like Split.
I'm just surprised that you're willing to support this man with how passionate you are about The Last Airbender.
Let me tell you something. Passionate about what?
One day I will get you to talk about this.
About what?
You know. But back to X-Men. I think this is probably the best one in that trilogy. They did a lot of time travel, which can get very complicated.
Yeah, and they did it. Honestly, at the end of this
well.
movie, I forgot how Apocalypse started, but it made sense towards the end of this movie where they pulled Logan out of the fucking river.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, oh, okay. So he went on to live his life, and he doesn't fucking age really anyway. So,
Well, he wasn't even in Apocalypse. Well, he was.
But, like, not really.
Yeah, he was in that one scene.
Yeah.
Which was pretty funny.
So, yeah, he, like, went on and lived his whole life. And I was like, oh, okay. But then I guess he wasn't really in Apocalypse like that.
Yeah. Then Logan confuses me. Because I don't know where that takes place with this whole franchise.
The world may never know. It's like a fucking Tootsie Pop commercial.
X-Men's just kind of all over the place.
I mean, if you look hard enough, it's not that bad. But, like, I ain't really got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that.
It's a lot. But it's a good movie. I'd recommend picking this one up from the bin.
Yeah, what did we get it for? It was like $370.
$374.
Yeah, and that's a steal.
Is there anything else you want to add with Big Banter?
I'm not the Juggernaut, but I wish I was, but I don't. I'd rather be Kitty Pryde.
All right, well, that has been Bin Banter. Now it is time for us to get on to our spoiler discussion of Creed 2. If you have not seen Creed 2, go see it, come back, and listen.
Like Navi. Listen.
I feel like you've tried that multiple times.
I haven't.
You failed.
I haven't.
No, you have.
Did I on the podcast?
On the podcast. Not right now.
Oh, because I
but
like
throughout the episodes. This is the
if
first
I
time
practiced,
you
I
nailed
could
it.
do it.
This is the first time you nailed it.
If I could practice, that wasn't even that great. That was
It was
not.
better than the other time.
I don't remember the other times, but
I
hey,
remember them not being good, and I cut them out.
now I'm gonna fucking practice. The people will listen. It's gonna be so good. It sounds like a soundbite.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Creed 2, Creed 2, quest to get back the motherfucking Stang.
Quest to get back that Stang, and he gets it back within like 15 minutes of the movie.
Yeah. He fights his way back up, fights his way to the top. Runs into who is the guy's name? I don't remember the guy's name.
Wasn't it Wheeler?
I think so.
Joey Wheeler? Joey
It's
Wheeler?
not Joey Wheeler. You know how I know it's not Joey Wheeler?
Joey Wheeler.
Yugi's best friend.
Yo, is this nigga's name Joey?
It's Joey Wheeler. Michael B. Jordan was out there at the heart of the cards.
Yo, Joey Wheeler moving on up.
Is that really his name in the movie?
It's Danny Wheeler,
Oh, okay. I was about to say.
played by Andre Ward.
Yeah, he got his ass beat. I ain't worried about it. Yeah.
I wasn't expecting a fight between them two. It was good though to see that, like, that little bout between them two come full circle and he get his ass beat.
He got his ass beat coming out of his little office work position, and then he worked his way to the top, beat that nigga's ass, and got his thing back.
He became...
They bet the championship belt and the Mustang over that fight.
I think he wanted the Mustang more.
Yeah. It's the last thing his dad left him. The only thing his dad left him.
And some hands.
Did he inherit those hands? I think he grew into those hands. I think Rocky...
Nah, he was dropping niggas with them hands before Rocky.
He was getting dropped with them hands before Rocky.
Nah, he pretty much knocked a bunch of niggas out, and then the world champ knocked his ass out. I don't think that's too bad. Because in the first one, he was beating niggas' asses in Mexico. Then he wanted to come to America.
Oh, yeah.
He beat one nigga's ass in that American gym, and then the world champ was like,
and
he was number 2.
He got too big for his britch. I do remember that. You are correct, sir.
And he finally put that headgear on. But yeah. So he gets that car back. And he's the world champion.
And then he proposes to B.
He does propose, and
she don't hear none of that shit.
Yeah, she...
I felt so bad for him. He's like pouring his heart out.
As he was doing it, I knew it was happening.
I know, but like, I'm just like, bro.
How do you feel about that whole storyline with her?
I feel like it's interesting because I don't really see them together, but they make it work. And I feel like she becomes more and more like his mom as things progress. Like between these two movies.
Yeah.
I mean,
I can see that. It's interesting for me because the Rocky movies never really explored anyone besides Rocky and the opponent he's facing.
Okay.
Like there was Adrian, and there was like the little love story between him and Adrian.
Uh-huh.
But Adrian didn't have like her own little... She was just a quiet chick.
Right. Well, I think I like that. Like, yes, this is a movie in the Rocky franchise, but also I feel like it's its own thing as well. And I like that in these movies, they also explore more aspects of life.
Yeah, I agree. I like it. I like that it has its own feel. Because if they would have came in and just felt too much like a Rocky movie, it wouldn't have been as good. But the fact that it has its own feel and is still good.
Right. And if you can do multiple things well, it's a lot better.
But I just don't know. I understand that he had the baby, but I just think it was just more of like a dramatic thing that she was also deaf. Like I don't really know what that added to the story.
I think that this particular situation is one of those things where, like, in a movie, there are things that happen in real life that people don't think about because that's not their reality. And the character who we're following, this is their reality. Mm-hmm. You feel for this character, and their plight is something that moves you. So when the main character who you care about to some extent finds out that his baby is deaf, that's pretty shitty. And I get that, maybe the baby could have not been deaf and it would have been deaf and it would have been just as effective. But at the same time, the baby is kind of, I don't know if the baby is a plot device necessarily. We see very little of the baby. The baby's in like 4 scenes. But I think for him, it's very important. I mean, even for the story, I think it's very important that at least that his daughter was born, because I feel like after he gets his ass beat, I mean, he says he doesn't feel, what makes him want to fight anymore. He doesn't know why, he doesn't know why he would get back in the ring. And his daughter is basically what, gets him to see that again, to feel that feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Because going into his fight with Victor, he was fighting for revenge. There was a lot of hatred in his heart, and his head wasn't on straight, which is why he lost the fight. I mean, aside from Victor being a big motherfucker.
When he had, like, one of Rocky's biggest things is you got to have, like, a fear of losing something.
Yeah.
And he really didn't have a fear of losing anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he just had to knock that nigga out one time for his daughter in the second fight. But the first one, yeah, he just wanted revenge.
Right.
For a nigga he never knew.
One thing that I like about this movie, and this is me having not seen all the Rocky movies. I've seen bits and pieces, but I don't remember the last time I saw one all the way through. I think Ivan was presented more as a villain outright in what was it, Rocky IV?
Mm-hmm.
He was presented more as a villain outright just because he was like the big Russian.
At that time,
yeah,
Russia was the enemy.
Right. He was presented.
I mean, still kind of, but
he was presented very much as a villain. But Victor is very different in the respect that a lot of the decisions that he makes are not his own.
Mm-hmm.
He's, Rocky says that he was raised in hatred. And that's a very big thing, because the only time you see Victor make a decision of his own is when they're at dinner with all of those people in Russia, and I think his mom.
Mm-hmm.
And he just gets up from the table, and kind of loses it, goes off to himself because he has like more self-control than people think he does. And that's that. But like, that's the only point in the movie where you see him act of his own volition.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that while Adonis had his dad's death weighing on him in that fight, Victor had the pressure that his dad was putting on him weighing on him in the second fight. So while they had different reasons, I feel like both of them at some point in the movie fought the other person at a major disadvantage mentally. Because even like Victor was distracted. His mom came to his last fight, his fight against Adonis, and she got up and left.
Yeah.
And, I mean, she walked out on his dad when they were, however old he was. And he's been trying to do this for his mom and his dad. And it just doesn't, it never works for him.
Yeah, I get that. He's really, to me, it's like he's Rocky in the first Rocky. Just a brute force that, like, he doesn't really have, like, a goal. Mm-hmm. But he just needs to win.
Yeah.
In order to really just for himself.
Right.
He does want it, for his family name and all of that. But also, Creed is almost like Apollo Creed in that situation. He's the top. Once he does that, he's good for life. He's set financially, and he proves to himself that he's a great person.
Right.
And he thinks that he can get the acclaim of others from that, being his mother and his father.
Yeah.
And all of Russia. Because I don't know if you remember, in Rocky IV, his father was like that nigga. Like, he had all the high-tech technology. He was... When I saw them at the beginning, I was like, God damn, these niggas lost it all from that fight. Russia does not play, nigga.
Nah. And it was really shitty. But I love the fact that they expanded on Victor the way they did without really. I mean, Victor and Ivan got their own scenes, but a lot of what you get from Victor is not like as explicit as you would think. Like, it's not explicitly stated necessarily. Mm-hmm. You kind of have to be paying attention to his mannerisms and, you know, how they communicate with one another. But one thing I do like very specifically is I think that this movie, fingers crossed, you know, this series continues on for a couple more movies, because I honestly want to see a fight between Adonis and Victor when they're both at their best.
I don't.
I do.
I want someone different.
No, I get that.
The only reason I want someone different is because, to me, right, Victor, it was a necessary thing that they had to do. They had to bring in that story because that's the biggest thing about Apollo Creed is when he died.
Right.
But I would like them to move on from that now and bring in a really good antagonist, because they really haven't had that for Creed yet.
I can understand. I mean,
and Rocky 3 did that.
Well, that was 3 movies in. We're 2 movies in.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. They've got this out of the way. Now let's give us our Mr. T, our clever leg. Prediction.
Pain. Oh my God.
Like, that nigga he's the best. Like, you really felt like the fear that you felt for Adonis when he got his ass beat. Mm. That's what you felt for Rocky with Clever Lang, and I'm ready for that. We need another one, and I'm really trying to think of like who would be someone that could play The Rock.
I mean,
let's get The Rock.
Yeah,
The Rock.
While I support The Rock, I don't know if I want The Rock in the Rocky franchise.
The Rock.
Nah.
Rocky versus The Rock.
Rocky versus The Rock. I feel like that's a
cancerous no-go. Rocky versus.
He doesn't have cancer anymore.
Did it?
He's very Adonis, when he's yelling at him, he's like, "I took care of you when you had cancer."
Yeah, it's probably in remission then.
Yeah.
Is that the right word to use?
I think so.
In remission. I feel like it is.
We're just going to assume that Rocky's not going to die of cancer. Although, I'm not going to lie, the entire movie I was like, is this going to be the moment when he bites?
I thought he was going to die in this movie. I was surprised he didn't.
Oh, I love that he went and made up with his son.
I do too. Oh.
Well, okay, but is it still the same actor?
It's the same one from Rocky 6, Rocky Balboa.
Oh, I didn't know that his son was Peter.
Yeah, it's the dad from This Is Us. Milo Vigan.
I know him as Peter.
Yeah, from Heroes.
Yeah.
It's crazy because I just watched Rocky Balboa the other day, like 2 days ago. He looks so young in that. And like, I'm used to seeing him now in This Is Us as like a dad and hella old, and it was weird seeing him like that, hella young again, like in the Heroes days.
Yeah.
I wanted him to fight. I want him to fuck someone up. I was, for a second, when Creed was going down, I was like, yo, if they just have this nigga like die right here, and then Rocky's son has to come and defend the Creed honor.
Oh my God. That would, no.
But I was like, then I thought about it, I was like, that wouldn't be a good story.
No. That would make no sense.
Maybe in the first one it worked, but they don't even know each other. It just wouldn't be that good.
Right. I think we talked about this. Their fucking entrance music, when he came out the fucking Icon, I was literally sitting there. And it's funny because, like I said, being in the theater, it's almost like being ringside.
Yeah,
like,
being in that arena. It was...
So like when they cut the lights and you just get the little sparkly, and I don't know the beginning of Icon. I've heard the song, but I wasn't like, and I'm just like, oh. And then the fucking beat drops hella hard and the lights cut on.
That shit was hype as
And
hell.
I was like, bro, this is going a little too hard right now.
Bruh, no song slaps harder than in a movie theater. I realized that. Like, when he's training and that shit just goes. I don't know if it's like this in every theater, but in our theater, the like beat hits every wall in the fucking theater and it just goes around you.
I know you say you didn't really like the song when he came out to fight Victor the second time.
Yeah, that her song.
Her song, I didn't like the song itself, but I liked the symbolism of the lyrics.
I wasn't even paying attention. I was just like, "Yo, this shit trash."
Oh,
turn that shit down.
nah, like it's literally after they have this conversation about how if he takes the fight, then they need to be a team. And instead of, getting music, he gets her to come sing a song in Russia.
That is dope.
And like literally the song is like how she's willing to go to war for him. And I was like, I can appreciate that. I can appreciate this.
I did
nice.
like the symbolism of them being together.
Yeah.
But I wasn't paying attention to the lyrics. But yeah, I guess that is pretty dope.
Yeah.
I just feel like they're trying to start Tessa Thompson's singing career, and I'm not fucking with that.
Well, no, but I like that.
If they were real niggas, they would have got Jaden to actually walk down and rap icon.
In Russia. In Russian.
I bet he would. I bet he could do it.
He's a very driven young man. I think he would do it for enough money. So, what would you give this?
This one, I'd probably give it a 4 out of 5.
I'd say a 4.2.
4.2? You're gonna?
4.2.
I'll give it a 4.5. Don't you ever outrate me on a Rocky movie.
I'm giving it a 4.9.79.
All right, this is a 5 out of 5, guys. Just go see it in theaters. I'm telling you,
giving
that's
it a 10 out of 10. We're upping the parameters.
it's the best way to experience really any boxing movie. Is in theaters, unless you got a fucking dope ass sound system.
I'm sorry, I was still laughing at the same shit.
I bet you were.
It was funny to me, motherfucker. I hope it's funny to you people.
It was funny to me, motherfucker. What is that from?
I don't remember. It sounds like something on the Chappelle show.
I feel like it was Eddie Murphy.
Maybe.
I think it was when he was talking about when he was talking about Stevie Wonder. It was funny to me, motherfucker.
No, it was Chappelle's show. It was when Charlie Murphy was telling the story about Rick James. There we go.
Was it?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure. Because he was wearing those fucking sunglasses. And...
Oh, yeah. I think it was. Let us know if we're wrong, people.
I'm pretty sure.
We could be all off. It could have been like Jerry Seinfeld.
I don't think it was Jerry Seinfeld.
I would love to hear Jerry Seinfeld say, "It was funny to me, motherfucker."
Oh, man. Yeah, go see the movie in theaters. It was great. Really, I give it a 4.2. As much as some people want to try to one-up people.
I'd probably, that does sound about right as a 4.2. I just don't like doing like those little decimals.
I know, I understand that. It's like, we only do decimals when we're like, all the time. Actually, we do the decimals all the time.
4.375.
4.375.213.4.
8.
Anyway.
Go see it in theaters.
Yeah.
Yippee-ki-yay, nigga.